From Hollywood, time once again for Money TV. I'm Don Baillargeon. Thanks for joining us. Money TV is the program all about money and what makes it happen. Well, if you think the economy has been good the last couple of years, there are signs it's going to get a big boost in the first quarter of 2019. The American economy is consumer-driven. When consumers feel good about the economy, they buy more, they shop more, they dine out more, they just spend more. And all that feel-good spending just drives the economy even further. The GOP tax bill from last December means taxes are going to be lower for most Americans, but because the majority of people did not adjust their IRS withholding for 2018, according to Morgan Stanley, people are going to be getting a much bigger tax refund check in February and March, much bigger, to the tune of 26% bigger. That is serious money being tossed into the economy. Total tax refund checks are expected to hit $300 billion in the first quarter of the year. Car dealers, RV dealers, appliance stores, department stores, home improvement stores, restaurant and entertainment venues will all experience the uptick in happy customers with money in their pockets they're looking to spend. Many people also choose to increase their savings, pay down some debt, perhaps make some investments, but regardless how the extra billions are used, it's going to be a feel-good boost to an economy that has been feeling good and booming for the better part of 2 years. A good financial analyst will tell you it's better to adjust your withholding so that you don't get a big refund check because you're basically letting the government use your money for a year interest-free. But most Americans seem to prefer a surprise boost in their refund check than a surprise bump in their tax bill. Now here's something that has no bump whatsoever. It's our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program, 888-259-4449, to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. Again, toll-free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net, and please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Well, our first guest is joining us in studio, Mr. Riggs Eckelberry. He is the CEO of Origin Clear. OCLN is their stock symbol. Riggs, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, we kind of dubbed you last week as a disruptive water company, and I know you've got some news for us this week, so here's the floor. Take it away.
Well, disruption is the word. Origin Clear has, for me, been an amazing adventure. We've had like 4 pivots in our history, and we are the ultimate adaptive company. In the process, we've actually developed these amazing technologies, and we are on the acquisition path, and that's something that I can say openly. Can't discuss the status, but acquisitions tend to change a company's fortunes very quickly. And so early this morning, I sent out an update to my list of 14,000 people, and by the way, every one of them can hit reply, and it goes to my inbox. So you should, anybody who wants to be in my speed dial, just subscribe to the CEO updates on Origin Clear, and you'll be able to hear from me. And if you want to say something back, you can go right ahead. Right? Anyway, so what I sent was this article that said, guess what? All the critics were wrong. Elon Musk blew it out in the third quarter. And there's this chart, which hopefully Matt can show here, where it's all these years of red ink. And in the third quarter, finally, just blows up. And now it's done. He's set. He collected $500 million in deposits for the Model 3, and that's a drop in the bucket. In the quarter alone, he had $100 million in profits. So it says a couple things. First of all, it says that don't listen to the critics. Number 2, don't base the future on the past. Right? What's really in store? That's the important thing. And for me, I really felt there were 3 factors that will help Origin Clear succeed in a similar way. I'm an Elon Musk fan. I'm not Elon Musk. No. Right? He's amazing. But in our own way, we've got that similar long, like the pelican trying to take off across the water and finally makes it. And then we take off. And 3 audiences are super important. The first group is, of course, our investors, who are amazing. They are so behind us all the time. And there's, as you know, a fantastic way they can invest, which is not based on the stock price. It's actually good that way. Number 2 is our partners all over the world in, a number of countries, literally starting to ramp up to national scale in those countries. And number 3 is the customers for whom Dan Early is building those unique systems that he's the only architect. And so we've got this amazing position as technology that people are adopting that's unique, where we are the basis of design, and we've got these amazing investors. And the acquisitions, I can't say more than that.
I mean, it's a complete circle when you think about it. And you talk in such glowing terms about Dan Early. I'm half expecting when I go to your headquarters to see a statue of him outside the headquarters, next to yours, of course.
Well, let's not do that because statues tend to be torn down these days. But the truth is that he's alive and well in Roanoke, Virginia, and doing his thing. And I hope to get some video soon because I'm sending a video guy to shoot him doing the fabrication on these cool systems. And that's going to be great.
Well, what's really cool about that system, of course, is just plug and play. You just drop it in, you're in business, you turn it on, and there you go.
We call them plug and go.
Plug and go. So what else is new at the company?
Well, like I say, the acquisition stuff's happening. We gave that guidance on modular water where, the revenue's just going up massively. Technology side, in fact, next week I think I'll get into that, okay. What's happening, because we're really starting. Jean-Louis has this list, this stack of pipeline that's been like pushing string, and finally it's starting to pop. We'll have more about that.
Now, when we talk about acquisitions, you're doing these acquisitions with mezzanine financing, stock, combination of both, perhaps?
It is typically what we call hard money lenders, meaning they lend against the assets of the target.
Okay.
Right? Because it would dilute us too much.
Right.
Right? We're like the mouse at Ward. If we try and buy a company that's got, let's say, theoretically 10 times our revenue,
right,
then how's that going to happen? They would end up owning us. They'd be like 90% of the cap
right,
table.
Exactly.
So it's got to be debt. And then the equity is down the road where the valuation has risen, we assume, accordingly to the fundamentals that have been brought in. So it's a two-part thing. Debt today, based on the strength of the asset, that pays for the cash part. And then the equity part is time shifted to a time when the fundamentals have kicked in and the stock is where it should be for that acquisition.
He is the Dean of Water. He's also the Sultan of H2O. He's also the CEO of Origin Clear, OCLN. And I made him laugh, which is a good thing.
Thank
Riggs,
you.
Thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Well, joining us now via Skype video is Mr. Darren Walker. He's the CEO of a company called Building Economic Advancement Networks, otherwise known as BEAN. Darren, welcome back to the program.
Oh, thank you for having me, Don. Glad to be here.
Well, now, of course, you're a portfolio company of Digital Asset Monetary Network, DATI, but BEAN is a social network centered on economic advancement for urban communities. Tell us about BEAN.
Hey, Don. So, yeah, BEAN, like you said, is a social network centered around economic advancement. And so all the bells and whistles that one would come to imagine with social networking, from video posts and messaging features, yet it has a strong economic thrust, so that it's not just some of the, we're okay with having a good time, right? We all want to have a lot of fun, but we want to make sure that we utilize this platform in a way that can be edifying to our community and for those who participate with the platform.
Well, I found this statistic at your website staggering. African Americans contribute $1.2 trillion to the U.S. GDP, but that economic power is not finding its way to the African American communities. Can you explain that?
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate, as a result, as you mentioned, African Americans, if we were a country, would have the 16th largest buying power in the world. And so just so many of those dollars are not getting back to African American entrepreneurs and enterprises. And I don't think it's because the African American community doesn't want to patronize Black businesses. I think that oftentimes, if you're not careful, sometimes we're not clear on the impact that our dollars not circulating longer in our community is actually having. And so when you start talking about wealth preservation or economic advancement without really doing a dive into those numbers, I think people live their lives day to day not really realizing that as a result of those dollars not circulating in our communities longer, they're not seeing the adverse negative impact that's having. And And so, Bean seeks to change that. Bean wants to provide a clear pathway to change those statistics.
Well, this is something that certainly needs changing. How can Bean affect that change?
Yeah, so Bean can affect that change because Bean provides a clear pathway to find these businesses and these entrepreneurs, these enterprises that are within our community and that are good for our community. And so, Bean, our sort of operating philosophy is we believe what is recognized and rewarded is often repeated. So we wanted to create a platform that would recognize those individuals, those users that are patronizing businesses within our community. And so, we want to reward them for that healthy behavior, for that positive behavior. So within our platform, we have things that when money is spent or money is invested within the Bean network, those are the type of posts that show up on the activity feed. And Bean, the corporation, especially as we're launching, is rewarding that behavior with Bean Coin tokens, which essentially leverages the blockchain technology. And so we're wanting to incentivize that behavior because we know that if we can get people to begin to just 2%, our whole goal is to get our community to normative levels, not to exceed what any other ethnic group or racial group is doing in the country or around the world, but just close to normal levels. And at 2%, we're talking about $26 billion being redistributed back into the African American community.
Well, as I mentioned at the top of the interview, you're a portfolio company, the Digital Asset Monetary Network, and you have an offering at truecrowd.com. Can you tell us about the opportunity?
Yes. So my offering is on TrueCrowd. I'm not actually a company for digital, but in terms of TrueCrowd is with digital, and I'm under the TrueCrowd umbrella. And so essentially, the offering right now is that because of the Jobs Act, everyday investors can now participate, in startup companies, equity opportunities. Whereas before the Jobs Act passed in 2008, opportunities to invest in startup companies were only limited to accredited investors. So these are people who have $1 million net worth or who earn more than $200,000 a year in income. These opportunities would have been preserved essentially for them. Well, now the Jobs Act opens this opportunity up for everyone, essentially accredited and unaccredited alike, to be able to invest just a small amount of money, starting at $250 and going all the way up, to $107,000 per person. But essentially what happens is that they are now able to get a hold of, the startups that impact the world before they become popular or famous or things like that. And so that's what Bean is offering right now, is that we're selling 17% of our company, which received about a $5 million pre-money valuation. And so that stock is available now. And we believe that Bean is going to make a big impact, not just in the United States, but throughout the diaspora. And so investors today, people today, have the opportunity to make a small investment that could have an enormous impact on their financial future.
The company is Bean, of course, and we've been talking with its CEO, Darren Walker. Check out their offering at truecrowd.com. Exciting company. Darren, thanks so much for sharing it with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Checking in with us now on the phone is Joe Grimes. Joe's the CEO of a company called Tribal Rides Incorporated. Joe, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Don. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Well, you folks have such a unique business model. Why don't you tell us about it?
So, in essence, we're doing to self-driving cars and autonomous driving what Uber did to the taxi service. So we think that self-driving cars are really a disruptive technology, which is really coming to the forefront right now. Google Waymo has already logged 4 million miles. Just an outstanding new emerging technology. Our patents are associated with mobility as a service. In other words, you're not using your car in the morning. It automatically goes out to service other people who need rides. You generate revenue, and the car comes back to your work to pick you up. You don't even know it. You get to really stretch those resources.
Well, that's remarkable because, I can order a self-driving car and it just shows up where I want it to show up.
Shows up where and when for as long as you need it, and takes you automatically to the next location, drops you off, and then is ready and anticipates new calls from other users. So really fascinating. All at the touch of your smart device.
That's remarkable. Now, a lot of people think that self-driving cars are something in the future, but many don't realize that most new cars that are being built today are actually semi-autonomous.
That's right. And so a good example is Tesla, and they call it autopilot. All Teslas now come with the capability of self-driving capabilities. Volvo's coming out, GM's coming out. There are numerous entrants in the marketplace emerging from China. You know, the thought that it's a technology coming soon, it's here now. It's remarkable.
Now, I know that you folks are doing an offering at startengine.com. Why don't you tell us about the offering?
Sure. So the offering at Start Engine just closed. It was extremely successful. We're right now in the midst of working on additional ways to raise funding so that we can continue with our development process. And I hope to come back to MoneyTV soon to share with you what we're doing.
Well, once again, the company's Tribal Rides Incorporated. For more information, visit them at tribalrides.us. Joe, congratulations on your offering closing. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat-fee news distribution network on the market. It's called AccessWire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the AccessWire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. AccessWire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. On Shark Tank, we always look for the next big thing. Today, it's digital currencies like Bitcoin. But everyone wants to know, is it real and how do I get started? Yes, it's real, and the best way to start is setting up your free digital wallet with singlepoint.com. They make it easy to buy, use, and store digital currencies without banks or debit and credit cards. Use promo code SING for your free wallet and informative newsletter. That's singlepoint.com.
Hi, we're back. Thanks for staying with us. Joined now direct from Phoenix, Arizona by Greg Lambrecht. Greg is the CEO of Single Point Incorporated. SING is their stock symbol. Greg, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks for having us on the show.
Well, I understand you've just signed an LOI for an acquisition you've been discussing. What can you tell us about this?
Well, you know, we've been working on a very large acquisition, which we've talked a little bit about, and things are moving forward very nicely. And like I said, we just signed the LOI today, and so we continue to move forward with this large acquisition.
Well, we discussed last week about your exploring funding options for this deal. How's that coming along?
Well, it's really going over well. This company, of course, you know, I can't talk too much about it, but they have quite a substantial EBITDA number. So we're looking at you know, a combination of mezzanine financing and some convertible notes, and we're really talking some of the biggest funding companies in the country, and they're very excited about it. So we're pretty confident that we're going to be able to get this done.
Well, this is exactly what we've been talking about these last several weeks. Since filing your Form 10 and becoming fully reporting, access to capital for acquisitions such as this have become easier and at a more favorable rate for the company.
Yeah, so you know, we spent a couple years and a lot of money and got through the 2-year audits and filed our Form 10, and now we're able to have these conversations, you know, with these funders, and even more importantly, you know, we have an acquisition target to go with it. So it's pretty exciting right now.
Well, Greg, when you're talking to these funders, your being fully reporting is obviously important to them, but they must also be attracted to the quality of the acquisition.
Well, absolutely. You know, one of the things that we learned in the past year is we did make you know, 3 or 4 smaller acquisitions, and you know, we found out that we still have to pay the same amount as far as the attorneys and accountants and to the auditors. So we found what we think is the perfect company to acquire. We've always said that we kind of built out the public company first, you know, and as you know, we have 30,000 shareholders and a lot of volume. So Now we're able to go after a pretty large acquisition and being able to close it.
Well, Greg, last time we spoke, you mentioned you were considering becoming dually listed on the Canadian Stock Exchange. Any progress to report there?
Yeah, there really is. We've talked to 3 or 4 different entities that do that, and one of the advantages that we have is that we just filed our Form 10 in June, so hate to use the expression, but we're going to be able to cut and paste a lot of that information because it is so fresh. So we'll be able to hopefully get up on one of the Canadian exchanges, probably the CSE, in a shorter amount of time for a lot less money.
Well, that's really exciting. Now, we also discussed, and there's a lot to catch up on here, the single coin TV campaign with Kevin Harrington. How does that continue to work for you? Well,
it's going great. That's our mobile wallet, and we came out with the commercial on some of the national stations, including Fox News, and the first week we signed up 12,000 people, meaning 12,000 people put their Bitcoin on our wallet. Since then, we've really been doing a lot on Facebook and others. So I believe that we're up to 20,000 people. So as we get that number higher and higher, we're going to reach out to the dispensaries and allow their point of sale machine to take Bitcoin. So that's moving along quite smoothly.
Well, Greg, I asked this question of Will last week. I'm going to ask you as well. With all of your success in 2018, are you taking time to pause and reflect on that success and look forward to 2019?
Well, I don't really work that way. I took a company public on the NASDAQ in '96, so we're full charge ahead. We're with this acquisition that we hope to accomplish. We'll have the numbers to move up to the NASDAQ. So no rest for the worries. We're moving forward. The old saying, if you're not swimming, you're sinking. So we're more excited than ever and moving fast and furious forward.
Single Point Incorporated, SING. Greg, congratulations on all your success. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don, and go sing.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat fee news distribution network on the market. It's called Access Wire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the Access Wire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. Access Wire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. On Shark Tank, we always look for the next big thing. Today, it's digital currencies like Bitcoin. But everyone wants to know, is it real and how do I get started? Yes, it's real, and the best way to start is setting up your free digital wallet with singlepoint.com. They make it easy to buy, use, and store digital currencies without banks or debit and credit cards. Use promo code SING for your free wallet and informative newsletter. That's singlepoint.com.
Does this sound familiar? Turned down for a mortgage? Credit card interest over 20%? Didn't get the job you wanted? The problem is your credit score. Unsure what your credit score is? Call the Advocacy Network, 321-947-3220. Talk to Carl. He can help you regain your financial independence. Change your life today. 321-947-3220. Talk to Carl.
Joining us now on the phone is Mr. Brett Pajunas. Brett is a board member with Players Network. Their stock symbol's PNTV. Brett, great to have you back on the program.
Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me back.
Well, I know you guys have a lot of updated news for us. I'm going to kind of go ahead and give you the floor and let you rip. Tell us what's going on.
Thanks, Don. I appreciate it. Yeah, we have a tremendous amount of updates coming down the pipeline here. But first and foremost, I want to address you and your viewers and make sure that everyone goes to playersnetwork.com and signs up for free, where you can activate your investor relations account. I want to make sure that when we put news out, your viewers are first to get it. So, let me kind of start off and say I am extremely, extremely bullish on the marijuana industry. Recently Canada just went full recreational, October 17th. We'll be seeing revenues from that shortly. I think the revenues are going to far exceed all the original forecasting that came out. There's a lot of just great things going on, and I'll tell you, I think our company, Players Network, is really well positioned. First and foremost, I want to remind your viewers that we filed for 6 dispensary applications in Nevada alone. And I'll tell you, we've got just some amazing opportunities that are beyond the United States and beyond North America, and we're really excited to share that with you and your viewers and the investment community. So that's kind of where we're at.
Well, I wasn't aware of that you were looking at international sales, so to speak. Tell us a little bit more about that if you can.
Well, I don't really want to talk about that right now. What I'm saying is that there's opportunities beyond, just the United States and North America. And it's a little premature, but there are some really cool opportunities out there.
Well, of course, the industry is just exploding. I mean, the cannabis industry is going across the country, going across the world, basically like a steamroller. I mean, you're in the ground floor of the situation. It must feel pretty good to be in the ground floor of such a burgeoning industry.
It does. And, we have operations now both in Nevada and California. And actually, if you don't mind, I'd like to discuss that ever so quickly.
Sure.
We're almost done with our Q2 filing. We're late with our filing. The reason why we're late is because we did an acquisition at the end of May for a 56,000 square foot cultivation facility that's kicking off a lot of revenues. And when we acquired it, because we're fully reporting, we had to get that private company up to the same standards that we have as a fully reporting company. We had to get controls in place and a whole myriad of stuff. And as you probably know, I mean, the marijuana industry, we're kind of scrutinized a little bit. So we want to make sure that we had, all the T's crossed, I's dotted. And when we do submit our Q2 filing, which is going to be in the very near future, it's going to be in pretty good shape. So we're excited about that. And then we're on track for our Q3 filing, since we have all the controls and everything figured out now for the location. We're going to be good to go with Q3 and beyond.
Well, we're looking forward to more updates from you in the very near future. Again, Brett Pajunas, board member with Players Network, stock symbol PNTV. Brett, congratulations on all your success. Thanks for the update.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Don.
Take care. Well, we're going to talk midterm mania on this week's Money Wrap radio program. To find a radio station near you or just listen online, go to the website moneywrap.com. Call us right now toll-free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449, to receive free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. Once again, toll-free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Visit us at moneytv.net, and please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's our program this week. We'll be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us.